Hey, it's been a while since I have been public, whatever you want to call it. If you know anything about me, I go ghost from social media from time to time to be fully present in my life, to pull back my energy and ground and recuperate. And yeah, I just think it's healthy in general. But yeah, it's been a while. I don't know how long it's been, but a lot has transpired since then. Just to bring you up to date, I'm living somewhere completely different than where I was, back when you last saw me in videos and posts and things like that. Super grateful. We're both really grateful. We really brought our energy together to manifest a lot of stuff, new beginnings, a new place to stay temporarily, but still a place, a much more beautiful and healthy in every way, healthy place, and all by ourselves. When I say all by ourselves, I mean we're not living with anyone else. So it's been a huge comfort to recuperate and ground my energy again after living with others for literally a little over a year. And it's hard when you're living with people who either you never resonated with or you don't resonate with any longer. So that dissonance can really be felt, especially if you are sensitive to energy. And if your lifestyle choices do not align. In advance, I apologize for the background noises. It's been a really long time since I've lived anywhere downtown. It's a beautiful place we're living, but it is downtown, so you're gonna hear a mixed, a variety of background noises. I'll try my best to edit what I can out. I'm hopping back in front of the camera with the intentions of checking in with you, with whoever's here to listen and who resonates, because we have Lionsgate coming in a few days on August 8th. And ever since, I believe, 2015, it has been one of my most favorite astrological events, cosmic events, and a real life changer. Ever since Lionsgate 2015, it's been magical. That day was very magical for me, and I can include a link of that specific day, what I ended up doing. And to be honest, it's been a while since I've intuitively felt I needed to do something very specific for Lionsgate. And this week I didn't realize, that some of the things I was doing was being intuitively guided to do things specifically for Lionsgate and the full moon, which was just Monday. It was a full moon in Aquarius, but we have a lot going on other than just the full moon. There's so much happening with Mercury, Mars, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter. And that's one of the other reasons why I'm making this video, because I want to share two very specific sources with you. I hope that you will go and read the full forecast by these two individuals. The first is Michael Lennox, an amazing, talented astrologer. The second source is by Cassidy Kane, another very talented, gifted astrologer, but also a psychologist and guide for twin flames. Now, I have looked around at various twin flame resources for years, and not everything resonates. This is the first time a twin flame resource always resonates, like literally always. And I've been, checking in on her stuff and reading her forecast now since, I believe, 2015. So for 5 years, it hasn't failed, at least me. now I realize that everyone is different, and everyone, you know, we all have different energy signatures, and that means that we are going to resonate with different energies. So what may resonate for me may not be resonant for you. So it's okay, but I am stepping forward to provide the resources to those who do resonate, and maybe at least this will give you some inspiration to do your own poking around on the web and see what calls out to you to help you move through this week with more grace and more insight and clarity. Anyways, what can I say? Seriously, I feel like my energy and my spirit is still trying to catch up. I feel like I'm still trying to catch up with the new moon that was in Cancer. I don't know, the energy didn't really creep in on me until later. And so I found myself still in this watery depth, and maybe like a week after the new moon in Cancer, I found that I really needed to retreat from everything, you know, and I'm already off social media, but I had to retreat from talking to my sisters, you know, my sisters in my priestess circle, that is. I had to retreat from doing a bunch of stuff for my partner for a bit. I brought my energy back in. I didn't really want to talk as much. And a huge clue that I needed to do that was that I was getting angry at everything. Everything was triggering me. Everything was pissing me off. And in the past, I haven't really been able to notice that I'm getting angry. And then after I'm angry, I couldn't figure out why I was angry. But if you know me at all, or anything that I've shared within the past year, you'll notice that I've spoken about fire and me really getting in touch with my anger and tapping into it and understanding fire. As I like to call it, fire bending. So, yeah, I once I checked in with myself, I was like, oh shit, I'm literally at my limit. You know, I need to refill myself, back up from doing stuff for other people, giving out, you know, advice, and even holding space. Like, I was at the point where my energy was like, I can't even hold space right now. I need to hold space for myself. And if there's anybody out there that can hold space for me, I appreciate it, but I need to chill. I need to chill the fuck out for a while. That is literally how I felt a week after the new moon, and that feeling lasted for a week. And then I'm trying to think of time here, and it's always so hard for me to think of time sometimes. You gotta think I was feeling this way 1 week after the new moon, okay? So then another week passes, and then boom, we're here at the full moon. But days before the full moon, I just kept getting drawn to water, or thinking of water, on top of connecting with, you know, the dolphins and whales in a gathering, a phone call, you know, like days before the full moon. And after that, it just reminded me, oh yeah, I really should be tapping in and tuning into the dolphin energy, the beluga whales, orcas, and everything. And then I realized that I really needed to also dive into my waters. And for whatever reason, right? Like I realize it now, but at the time I didn't. I was just like, man, instead of my usual songs and mantras and chants for my Mother Mary devotion, I feel like, you know, honoring her, honoring Divine Mother, the goddess Mary, even by singing songs to Aphrodite, Yemanya, Oshun, Janaina. And so I scoured YouTube to find songs that resonated with me, and made a playlist and began singing it, like singing these songs and singing and chanting and dancing in front of my altar like 3 days in a row. And then when it came Monday, the full moon, I hopped into my full moon call with my priestess sisters. I was like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, I realized that I was being guided to do that, to really dive into the watery depth and, you know, really tune into the divine feminine, the mother goddess, this other aspect of the goddess, you know, where there is magic and healing in water. Even though Aquarius is an air sign, Aquarius is the water bearer. And on top of that, during full moons, especially for me, it always seems that I have to dive into my waters, you know, i.e. dive into my emotions, right? Now, there's another facet of this. I also noticed that I was being called to really tune into myself as a twin flame and dive into that juiciness and in spirit connect with my partner, in spirit connect with my twin flame, and, you know, call out to his energy, and, you know, so that our energies, our sacred fires could connect and intertwine. It was a very, you know, an etheric, magical, sacred ritual I was doing for our energies to connect spiritually, not just physically, right? You know, in the physical, it would be intimacy, sex, but in the spiritual, you know, it was just me calling out to our energies to come together, and it was beautiful. Now, on Monday, the full moon, hopping in this call with my sisters, and we're talking about what's coming up for us, and just, you know, we're observing the themes that we've noticed over the weeks since the new moon, checking in on our new moon intentions and how they have manifested, how they have grown since then at this peak of the moon, right? And there definitely were themes coming up, such as like death and rebirth, guilt, paranoia, shaking loose of even more old beliefs, past life stuff. I don't know if it's happening for you, but it's happening for me. Like, more clues on a past life that has been really hard for me to fully understand, so that I could heal it and really stop a pattern, this energetic imprint, a way of feeling that I get sometimes that has to do with my twin flame. And I can tell it's something from a past life, something traumatic. So that kept surfacing, you know, the past life stuff with this intense feeling of loss, intense feeling of grief. There's a lot of other themes, and I would love if you pop in and let me know what themes have been coming up for you. Now, I really want to dive into the astrological events, which includes the Lionsgate, so I'm going to move on from that because it's very important this week. This is why I'm popping in, because this week it's like, I don't know, how can I say, like, for me it's been chill for weeks. Like, even if something comes up that's kind of challenging, I've had the will, I've had the focus, I've been able to move through things. But once I got out of that call with my sisters and fully read Michael Lennox's forecast, I silently within myself was like, oh shit, okay, I'm in for it. Like, I need to spiritually, mentally, everything, prepare myself for what may feel like a rough, challenging week. I can do this. Let me make sure I, prepare myself with all the tools that I need. I can do this, like I was just prepared, like, pumping myself up, like I can do this, calling in help and just saying, let me be ready for this and let me accept truth. Let me embrace truth and let go of what is not, what is of illusion and distortion. So I'm going to share with you Michael Lennox's forecast. And then after that, I would like to share with you Cassidy Kane's forecast. This is specifically about twin flames, but to be completely honest, I feel like her forecast can still resonate with people who don't feel or believe, either don't feel they are a twin flame or don't even believe in the twin flame experience, okay? Because it's still an energetic theme, or let me rephrase, these are energetic themes happening on the planet, whether you're a twin flame or not, because we all have masculine and feminine within us. And obviously we all incarnate into, a body. So I'm incarnated as a female, okay? But I have masculine and feminine within me. So it's very possible that you incarnated as a woman. You may feel some of these things, whether it's something that's said to be predicted for the masculine, if you're a male, you may feel like, well, that resonates with me, but it, she's saying that the feminine collective might be feeling this. So it doesn't matter what form, okay, vessel your soul incarnated into, you can resonate with any or all of it. So I really want to share that with you too. Now, first I had read Michael Lennox, his forecast, his report. Then after that I was like, whoa. I mean, he's so talented and he's got a way with words that like really, but I was like, okay, I need to really know how would this translate for me as a twin flame? Are there any other clues or, guidance for me as a twin flame? So that's why my hair is really, I haven't brushed my hair in days, but that's why I went to Cassidy Kane's twin flame forecast and looked into it. And then I was like, it helped me breathe a little better because of the I guess you could say the vocabulary, the wording in relation to a twin flame. So it helps me understand it a little better and how I can move through this with the tools that I know, because I have been doing twin flame work for years. So I feel like this will be very, very valuable to others. And it's still a doozy though. Like this week is challenging. And I mean, Monday going into Tuesday, I was like, oh my God. Tuesday when I woke up, I was like, I already feel it. I feel weird. I feel stressed. And then some stuff happened. Like I found out some information and I was like, yesterday was just kind of rough for me. And then it was a lot of work, for me in here and here and duking it out, really duking, spiritually with my twin flame. Even though physically he lives with me, but while he was at work, it was just kind of like with him in spirit, not really fighting, but more like having this intense conversation energetically. And me really coming to terms with some feelings and needing to observe those feelings and see where they come from and why I felt that way. And when I woke up today, I don't even feel that intense energy I felt yesterday. The challenge is still there. The energy, I guess you could say, for lack of better words, the pain, right? Knowing that I was wounded yesterday, triggered, let me rephrase that. It's not like I've forgotten about it, but I don't feel it so intensely today. And what I can say to that is is that first, it's a new day, right? Wake up every day with a fresh start. That's one. Two, the other major thing is that I did a lot of energy work last night. I said, okay, this is super intense for me, and I can't stay here. I can't stay in this vibration and just mull over it and be funky. Okay, I need to really do energy work. And so I did the inner child meditation from Cassidy Kane, and even in that meditation, more than just inner child stuff came up. Actually, like I said about the new moon, what it brought forward for me with the full moon was past life stuff. I noticed there was past life stuff on my end and on his end that was really dragging us down, and I could get much more detail when I was in the meditation, the visualization, and working energetically with him, his energy, and my energy. So that helped a lot, to where today I feel lighter. I feel like, okay, I can move through this a little bit easier. I feel well enough to put myself before a camera, put my energy out there, and shortly publish this for others. So that should tell you something, okay? So I did that meditation. I also listened to some sound healings that I have saved, and I'm trying to think of what else. I've had some signs now for maybe 2 weeks or something, and I figured it out. I finally think I figured it out, and it has to do with the throat chakra and my will and my kundalini. And all of the messages that I figured out for this guidance I kept getting aligns. It aligns with what Michael Lennox was saying and what Cassidy Kane was saying. So I was like, this has to be it. So from that, after I did these, the meditation and sound healings, I started speaking, using my throat chakra to speak out loud what I want to see birthed into my life. Despite what is going on the external, in the outer, I decided to speak out loud what I want to see, within myself, right? First of all, within yourself. And with that in yourself, you then see it reflect in your outer world. And then you see it being attracted to you as well, okay? That's the universe we live in. So then I did that. Did some praying, talking. It's like, regardless if it's something challenging or not, I'm like always talking to my twin flame spirit all the time. So I would suggest that to you, regardless if you live with the person or don't even know the person. Just talk to them. You don't have to feel like they're never there, although trust me, I know that feeling, and I get that way, and then I forget, and then I go, oh yeah, I can just literally call on him and talk to him, and you develop this way of communicating, whether it's literally hearing the person or receiving signs in various ways. You develop your own language, okay? Now, just like Michael Lennox pointed out some challenges, Cassidy Kane also pointed out the challenges too. Now, even for me, I'm still trying to fully decode what's fully going on here, right, in this astrological week, this all these things that are taking place. I can't sit here and give you every single thing. It's a lot. It's honestly a lot. Like, something is squaring this, and because of this square, it's causing this opposition and a challenge, and because of this expansion and this and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's a lot. So I really encourage you to check these two sources out. Even if you're someone who doesn't know astrology like that, it's okay. These two people word things in a way that you can understand. It's not like some super fancy language that just makes it extremely difficult. This is exactly why I am suggesting. You hear that songbird? It's awesome. I mean, they're all singing, but this one got really loud. That's a cardinal. That's a cardinal singing. Now, I'm leaving this with you that Lionsgate is coming up. It's very possible that I will be guided to bring forth a message or something for Lionsgate. I'm trying to go with the flow. I feel it, and I'm trying to personally prepare myself. And I apologize. Now I remember I didn't finish telling you what I had been guided, you know, since the new moon to do that finished on the full moon, and now I am reaping the benefits of that, I guess you could say. So I remember I began singing and dancing to the divine waters, to, you know, the goddess, to Mary, to all the Marys, all the Magdalens. If you're a priestess, you'll understand. Yemanya, Janaina, Oshun, Aphrodite, you know. And then I was like, man, I need to make some more cucumber lime mint water. We did it like when we first moved in this place to help cleanse our bodies and hydrate. So I was like, man, I really need to do that again. So I began preparing. Like, I started getting things over the weekend, and then Monday I literally was preparing it like later in the evening. And when I got in the call with my sisters, you know, my sister Radhika was like, hey, I got my moon juice with me. Did you make moon juice? And I've never heard water that's charged by the moon called moon juice. So I was like, what? Moon juice? And when she explained it, I was like, oh my God. Can you believe it's been, wow, I think it's been 4, 5 years, somewhere in there, I don't know, since I've charged my water by the sun or moon. I take that back. Maybe it's been like 3 years, because I remember in 2017 I actually used water a lot to help with the timeline merges and the purging and everything. And that's another thing that I know in previous videos this year, I've said this to you, that those timeline merges and those shifts are related to the timeline shifts and mergings happening this year, 2020. So just take note of that. So anyways, once Radhika reminded me, I was like, holy shit. So I set my glass canister out here to be charged by the moon. So now it's inside and I'm drinking it. It's charged. I charged it with intentions, not only from the full moon and all the astrological events, you know, but the other event, the Lionsgate coming up. You know, I encourage you to really use water. Water is sacred. Water is so sacred and powerful, and our bodies need it anyways, and use it as a tool to purify, to cleanse, to heal, not just physically but spiritually, you know, emotionally, mentally. It is a very sacred tool, okay? And I'm gonna leave you with that, and I would so love it, but it's okay if you don't. You know, if you have the courage to reach out in whatever way you feel most comfortable, to chat about what's going on with you and what resonates. And you know, I'm still here doing my work. So if you are in need of a pranic session, a sound healing session, a reading, please reach out to me. I can't wait to hear from you. And until next time, have a blessed day, a blessed night. May the light always guide you. Namaste. Nitakue oyasin. Arohanui.